To some of the new faces in the squad. And who knows, perhaps another YTS discovery like Lee Sharp, now at Manchester United. But my hunch is that Dean Edwards, who was Exeter's top scorer last season, could really benefit from this man's presence. And this is Richard Thompson. He came from Newport. He's a big, strong target man. And since I think strikers are best in pairs, I expect great things of these two. So how about 24 goals for Dean Edwards? Well, now a major sailing event in Cornwall.
For the first 20 minutes, Torquay's reshaped side made little creative impact as Reading, the Simod Cup holders, threatened to take control. But then, dramatically, Reading were reduced to 10 men. A midfield skirmish and the volatile Mickey Tate chased after Sean Joyce and in true Mike Tyson fashion punched him in the face in full view of the linesman just a few yards away. Tate's first offence, but serious enough to warrant his dismissal. Tempers took a while to cool, especially on the visitors' bench. But once Reading had readjusted, they looked the more likely scorers in the first half. The menacing speed of Mike Gilks set up Billy Whitehurst on this occasion, but his header was cleared off the line. And later, Paul Crichton, on loan from Nottingham Forest, denied Steve Moran with a fine reflex save. Moran, though, was to prove Reading's match winner. Just before the hour, Carl Elsie's astute pass sent him clear.
Take him on!
And Moran's finishing reminded us that here was a man who not so long ago played at under-21 level for England. Torquay, though, to their credit, fought back with great determination and made a string of chances. Roger Gibbons was desperately unlucky here. And Darrell Pugh's positive run late on so nearly produced an equaliser too.
Well, a bad result that for Torquay. A goal down from the first match at PLAINMOR. They took an early lead with this header from Derek Dawkins. It was a frustrating time for Reading, and Mick Tate let it show. He was sent off at Torquay, but escaped with a booking here. But in the second half, it was Tate's skill that got Reading back into the game. A delicate touch making it 1-1 on the night, and relief for Reading's manager Ian Branfoot. And more followed when Billy Whitehurst was brought down. The penalty decision angered Torquay, but Stuart Bevan calmly scored from the spot. And Michael Gilks set up Steve Moran for Reading's third. Final score on the night, Reading 3, Torquay 1. In fact, it hasn't been Torquay's week.
He said he'd made promises to the Belgians which hadn't been kept by Torquay officials. Caldwell had an appalling disciplinary record and had been sent off several times. But he had a knack of scoring, and the Belgians were willing to pay £13,000 for him.
Knowles said he was a man of his word, but this had been broken by people who ran the club. Following several other disagreements with the board, he had decided to resign in protest. His appointment before the start of last season led to a minor miracle at Torquay. When he joined, the club had only just survived in the Football League. Yet at the end of the season, they were challenging for a third division place. After a shaky start to this campaign, Torquay were looking like a promotion force once again. A dramatic improvement in away form was one of the reasons why Knowles looked like succeeding where so many had failed. There's likely to be angry reaction from the Torquay fans, who'd grown to respect the straight talking of the man from Yorkshire.
Cyril Knowles has announced that he's resigning as manager. Why?
Well, we've had no official notification that he has resigned. All we've read is what the supporters and yourselves have read in the local paper today.
Have you seen Mr. Knowles today?
No, we haven't.
Do you know where he is?
No idea.
Now, he says that he's resigned because you and the chairman broke your word to a Belgian club about the transfer of David Caldwell.
Well, that's what it says in the paper, but until we speak to Cyril, there's no comment.
A sudden farewell to Cyril Knowles.
Kevin Maddock in the 21st minute. The Torquay fans were clearly stunned by the part-timer's skills and determination, and a combination of those qualities led to Ferram's second goal 11 minutes before half-time. The scorer, Robbie Carroll. Well, it was still 2-0 with 5 minutes to go when the Torquay fight back started with a goal from Sean Joyce. Torquay threw everything in and huge relief on and off the pitch as Jimmy Smith got the equaliser just 3 minutes from time. Fairham's manager was sporting enough to admit that Torquay deserved another bite of the cherry, so the pros put their pride on the line again on Wednesday night.
A crowd of 2,500 near...
Jimmy McNichol's header seemed to go in off Fairham's Andy Day. Just before half-time, a good turn and a determined run by Robbie Carroll earned an equaliser for the underdogs from the Visa Homes League. Hot dogs at half-time, and then back to the battle. There was something speculative about Jimmy Smith's effort that put Torquay ahead again, but you have to speculate to accumulate. And a minute later, Fareham were level again through Kevin Maddock, emphasising that Saturday's stirring performance was no fluke. Maddock, a former sailor, has scored in every round. But it ended in disappointment. Fareham conceded a free kick just outside the penalty area. There wasn't much wrong with the wall, but Mark Loram's free kick was as accurate as it was cunning. Now Torquay and Yeovil will meet, with West Country pride at stake in the next round.
Back of them.
Fareham, who lost a 2-goal lead in the last 5 minutes at Torquay on Saturday, have never reached the second round of the FA Cup, and their hopes of creating history in this replay suffered a setback when Torquay opened the scoring. Jim McNichol, the Scottish defender, heading in after 23 minutes. But the part-timers from the Visa Homes League equalised 4 minutes before half-time. Robbie Carroll, who nearly missed the match through illness, raced away to finish in style. Into the second half, and Jimmy Smith, reacting quickly, soon put Torquay back in front. But Fareham was still full of fight, and 60 seconds later they were level again. Kevin Maddock driving in a spectacular shot, the goal of the night. The tie was now nicely balanced, and then came a great chance for Fareham's Guy Rutherford, but the Torquay goalkeeper Ken Vasey rescued his team with a crucial save. Torquay celebrated that escape by scoring the winner from a free kick with 20 minutes left. Mark Loram, the best player on the pitch, bending the ball round the defensive wall. The result, Fareham 2, Torquay 3.
At the end of the day, I'm just pleased we've got away with it because, you know, really, hand on heart, we was lucky to get away with it Saturday. You know, we shouldn't have even been here tonight, but we are, and we've come here, and I think we've done fairly well, but, you know, full credit to them because I think they've played marvellous over 2 games.
Torquay through at last.
Yeovil, when they eventually took their tracksuits off, would be playing in white shirts. Tough one for Torquay, and a crowd of 5,600 there.
Forward from Gibbons' free kick. Away by Donnelly. Randall trying to get under it, but Weston did. Randall again doesn't make contact, and cleared by Sherwood. Gibbons. No offside flag. Loram is free. It's 1 against 1 with Bond, and it's in. It's 1-0. Loram puts Torquay in front. Well, from the time the flag stayed down, this always looked as though the goal was on. Loram kept his head well. Bond did all he could, but once Loram had deceived him, the goal was easy. Thompson again. And again on the break, this time Darryl Pugh, and they've beaten the offside trap yet again. Pugh with the goalkeeper to beat. He's round him, gone too far, side netting. But the offside trap is looking very dodgy for Yeovil. There was a man in the middle playing Darryl Pugh onside, Sherwood the sweeper, and Pugh then took it to the keeper, but Bond forced him wide, and it was side netting. In from Cordice. Good turn by Randall and a good goal too. What a beautiful strike. Fordyce played it in. It was the outside of the foot from Randall. The turn was brilliant and the strike was excellent. Useful cross. Cole mishit his shot. Yeovil still under pressure. Cole, Lloyd. Lloyd pulls it back. And Loram just screws it wide of the post at the second attempt. His first shot was blocked. The second one was pulled. Now here's Mundy. Somehow contrives to dig that one out for Lowe. And here goes Tong. What a good try. Lowe's cross and Tong on the end of it first time. The little substitute nearly made a name for himself.
1-1 again.
Saturday's match ended in a draw.
Over 5,000 fans at the Hewish, and in the early moments it was Yeovil who put together the slickest move. Denny Mundy just failed to get his shot on target. It was all a bit rough and tough early on, and there were bookings for Torquay's Richard Thompson and Yeovil keeper Len Bond from referee Bob Hamer. The breakthrough for Torquay came as Yeovil were caught very square as they cleared the ball out of defence. Phil Lloyd sent Mark Loram away, and what a good professional finish. It could and should have been two, but Len Bond forced Darrell Pugh wide, and his shot hit the side netting. But Yeovil's cup-fighting spirit brought them through. Paul Randall's finish took you right back to his First Division days. But right at the death, Randall's finishing deserted him, so they do it all again at Plainmoor on Wednesday evening.
Well, 7 out of its last 9 games at Plainmoor. The man Yeovil probably fear most is striker Mark Loram, and with good reason. On Saturday, he took full advantage of a very square defence, and now feels he's got their measure.
They haven't got much pace at the back. I think that's where we can get at them, like, and wide, you know. Both their full-backs are a bit weak. You can just get at them, and you never know then. I mean, we created chances from set pieces as well. That's where they were a bit weak, defending set pieces.
There is another, thankfully much rarer side to tonight's match. Following crowd trouble at Yeovil on Saturday, the police are mounting an operation similar to the one for the Spurs game last season. Normally, away fans aren't allowed at Plainmoor, but that rule's been relaxed for the Cup, and some 400 supporters are expected from Somerset. However, with the alleged troublemakers from Saturday barred tonight, the police are sure the only incidents will be on the pitch.
But in tonight's replay, well, they were still candidates to become Yeovil's 14th Football League victims in the Cup. And the prize now on offer, a third-round trip to Hillsborough to face First Division Sheffield Wednesday. Commentator at Torquay is Jerry Sinstadt.
On Saturday, it was Mark Loram, Devonshire born and bred, who gave Torquay the lead when he beat Yeovil's offside trap. 10 minutes later, Paul Randall, once of Stoke City, twice of Bristol Rovers, scored an excellent equaliser, and so here we are at Plainmoor for the replay. Torquay had an injury doubt until the last minute about central defender David Cole, but he takes his place in an unchanged lineup. Their leading scorer, but only with 5 goals, is 19-year-old Jim Smith, who wears 7. Yeovil, too, are unchanged, still without their injured leading scorer Mick Doherty, but believing that they can play a lot better than they did on Saturday. Bob Hamer from Bristol is the referee tonight, as he was at the Hewish on Saturday. Yeovil in a change strip, claret and blue, only the second time they've ever worn these shirts. Torquay all in white, playing from right to left. Lauren wins the throw. Off Cordas. Looking for the tall head of Thompson, 6'3". And a little bit of a hustle for Kenny Beasy, the goalkeeper. Only 21, and only came into the team at the beginning of last month. Looking for Smith, number 7. Four men up. 11 is Weston. And they're losing a little bit dangerously here on the edge of the box. Shot all the way through from Smith, but not with enough power to test Len Bond seriously. Got the left foot away, but not with a lot of power. Thompson. Oh, and he's given it away. Mundy. Pearson outside him. Randall's cross. Oh. Mundy had an absolutely free header there. Time to pick his spot, went for the top corner and got it wrong. Johnny Mundy acknowledging the cross, and it was a beauty too from Randall. Lost his marker. Should have done better. Smith, Sherwood the defender. And Smith has diddled his way round. Cross is good, and Lauren's header is even better. Thompson it was who got the touch. Thompson makes it 1-0. Smith did very well there. Got round Sherwood, played a beautiful cross, and Thompson threw himself in for his 4th goal of the season to put Torquay 1-0 in front. Couldn't ask for a better cross, and Thompson accepted the invitation. "19 minutes gone, 1-0 to Torquay. But they led on Saturday and were pegged back. And now they have to defend against a free kick right on the edge of their area. It's Tivlow, number 3. And it may well be Lowe who takes it. Nice, accurate striker of the ball. Fires it hard, and again! Over. Tivlow, signed last summer from Saltash, and was a great provider in Saturday's game. Cordas. Smith, this time Sherwood had too much pace for him. Moore who made the run for him. Kelly's shot! Oh. It just swung at the last minute. Looked when it set off as though it was heading to go inside the far post. Beautifully struck, may have taken a deflection, and indeed did, because we have a corner. The 4th Torquay corner. Been playing just over 25 minutes. They lead 1-0. Gibbons made the run, and they're causing problems at those corners. Good shot on the turn from Thompson. Did extraordinarily well then for a big man. very nimble on his feet. The shot was good and Bond did well. It caused a lot of problems at the corners. When it was knocked down by Cole, what a good bit of work by Thompson. Nobody coming to challenge Kelly. Pearson had a long run back. Kelly was able to play the pass, but it was well cut out by Rutter. Kelly again now. This time a deeper cross. Back in towards Smith. Terrible mistake by Donovan, who stood off it and allowed Smith to get in and win a corner that could so easily have been a goal. Misunderstanding between Bond and Donnellan. 10 is Gibbons. 7 Torquay players in the area, but Cordyce made the important header. Kelly, chase for Smith. Sherwood was with him and Sherwood was lucky. Ball hit him on the back. Here's Pugh. Thompson in the middle, so too is Loram. Weston. Thompson. Well, it was so close to being the second. Smith almost got to it at the far post. Good run here by Pugh, and then tuck back for Weston. And it was Pugh who just didn't make it at the post. Thompson to Loram. This is nice now. Weston. Kelly called for it and got a good pass and hit the shot well. Get a second attempt here. Just a yard wide, but that was pretty sharp football by Torquay. Pass is beginning to ping about with confidence and accuracy. Called for that to be played back there. First shot came back to him off one of his own players. The second one on the volley was close to Bond's right-hand post. And there is the half-time whistle. A lot of thinking to be done in the Yeovil dressing room at half-time. Manager Brian Hall will no doubt have a lot to say, but may feel that they are fortunate to be behind only to Richard Thompson's goal. Half-time, Torquay 1, Yeovil 0. Torquay play from left to right in this second half, leading 1-0 with the prize, a trip to Hillsborough in the third round in January. Torquay have been in the league since 1927, never been higher than the third division, never been further than the fourth round of the FA Cup. Push. Smith on Wallace, or Weston on Wallace. Not a very good header. Not a very good pass. Rutter. Easy for Lloyd. Gibbons. Smith. Oh. Sherwood from one side and Quinn from the other. A Smith sandwich. Gibbons had a sight of the target there, but opted for the floated cross. Forward by McNichol. Cole, the central defender. Big, deep cross, and it's fallen well for Torquay, but over. Loram disappointed. Loram had time to think about it, tried to curl it into the far top corner. Mundy misjudges it. Rutter beats Thompson. Just about an hour of the game gone, and Torquay still lead from Richard Thompson's goal. Now here's Pugh away. Smith at the near post. Donald was tackled, didn't meet with the referee's approval. One man at the near post peels off. Another takes his place. Pugh's cross, Smith's header, and a relatively straightforward catch for Bob. Leaning back just in the shot there is Brian Hall, the Yeovil manager. Very successful manager in non-league football.
Paul, push him on! Paul!
Donnellan. The form was by Mundy. Wallace was there. The ball's in the net from Randall, but the whistle is gone, and the goal doesn't count. Linesman's flag for offside. Randall displeased, but the flag was up instantly, and that was probably where the offence was. It wasn't Randall, it was Wallace. And there isn't much more. And now there is no more. Cyril Knowles salutes his team's victory. Richard Thompson's goal earns Torquay a trip to Yorkshire and a lucrative third-round gate away to Sheffield Wednesday. Yeovil beaten by 1-0 in the replay tonight at PLAINMOOR.
Out go Yeovil. There were no doubt mixed
on Saturday. A lot of pride at stake, of course. The professionals of Torquay against the famous part-timers of Yeovil. And the prize awaiting the winners, a third-round clash with a First Division club.
Yeovil had the first chance. Paul Randall's cross gave Denny Mundy a free header, but it was wide. Torquay's goal, the only one of the match, started with a long ball forward and good close control by the teenager Jimmy Smith. He shields the ball so well. A good turn and cross and a brave header coming up by Richard Thompson. Eight minutes into the second half, Torquay nearly went further ahead. David Cole up with the attack, a lobbed cross. The shot from Mark Loram looks well wide from this angle, but the slow motion will show it was a crafty little curler and only just off target. Another near miss. Tom Kelly started the move. Mark Loram got the cross in for Jimmy Smith. A great reflex header over the bar from Jeff Sherwood, but you know, it could have gone anywhere. Yeovil did get the ball in the net. Paul Randall put it there, and he didn't like the verdict of offside. But again, slow motion will show the referee was quite right. Just seconds from time, Denny Mundy very nearly equalised. It wouldn't have been fully earned, and despite the disappointment on the Yeovil bench, they knew really the best side had won, and now face First Division Sheffield Wednesday away in the third round.
This one engineered by United's new YTS star Jimmy Smith. That looked to be a penalty, but strangely no one in the Torquay side appealed, and the referee waving play on. 0-0 then at the break, and it was Peterborough who came closest to scoring early in the second half. A great save coming up by Kenny Vasey. And in fact, the visitors nearly took the lead from the resulting corner, with Longhurst's rather tame effort hitting the post there. Well, then came Cyril Knowles' vital substitution. Off went the tiring Jimmy Smith. On came former Exeter striker Dean Edwards. And it was Edwards who scored the only goal of the game. Not exactly vintage stuff, long ball, but 10 out of 10 for persistence and the slightest of touches to steer the ball home. Another 3 points in the bag, and United back in the chase as we move into 1989.
I think it's always a lot easier if you put your chances away, and I thought we created 3 or 4 good chances in the first half. I thought I'd like to see it, but I thought the lad handled the ball on the line, you know, and
but nobody appealed.
Well, I thought the referee was looking to his linesman, where I thought he should have took the responsibility because he was in the middle of the goal mouth. I saw the reactions of people behind. But that's what made me thought, well, where I was sat, you couldn't say whether he'd handled it or not. But I think we've played probably as well as what we've played for a long, long time today. I think we turned it on, and I thought we did very well.
Nice one, Cyril.
Yeah, nice one.
Losing becomes a habit it's hard to break. On top of that, Gary Megson and Alan Miller, both midfielders, are leaving the club. And their Icelandic international, Ziggy Johnson, was sent off at Coventry on Monday. Torquay United, apart from the relaxation which comes with knowing you're not expected to win, are on a good run of results. They've gone 8 games without defeat, and they'll have 1,500 voices behind them hoping for an upset. But it will be hard, of course.
A churned-up Plainmoor saw Torquay on their out-of-town pitch for training this week. Hard work it was too, which was certainly appropriate, in that hard work is what they've made of their cup runs so far. Against Fareham in the first round, they had to score twice in the last 5 minutes to force a replay. And the second round tie with Yeovil also took 2 legs to decide through Richard Thompson's fine header. Such a display augurs well for Hillsborough, and the Torquay manager is not without optimism.
On the day, I think it's just going to be down to attitude, really, and how badly we want it. I mean, they've got a lot of unrest at the moment down there, with players complaining about this and that in the dressing rooms and wanting to leave the club and that. So it might not be a bad time to go, really.
Sheffield Wednesday's problems have been nothing if not well publicised, and losing the likes of unsettled Gary Megson to Manchester City will do little to boost Yorkshire morale. It all adds up to the unusual scenario of a 4th Division club travelling to a 1st Division ground, yet not strictly as the underdogs.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I know what you mean. I mean, we've been going well. We've played probably his best football away from home. And like I said, they're going through a bad patch at the moment, so, you know, it might be a good time to go.
Spring a surprise?
Hopefully, hopefully.
Torquay hope to field a full-strength side if top scorer Jimmy Smith has recovered from injury, and Cyril Knowles and the 1,500 travelling fans will be looking to the young goal poacher to see a lucrative giant-killing cup run continue.
Well, results and reports.
Well done to Torquay.
Found a determined CREWE defence to put in a superb cross from the right. Jason Gummer made no mistake with a superb header to give United all the points. And that's it for now from the weekend news.
In the end, the referee deciding Mark Gardner's shot had been handled on the line by Jim McNichol. Obviously a controversial decision that, but the spot kick was duly converted by Paul Fishenden, and it goes. CREWE taking a 1-0 lead, but that really only started the fireworks. And enter from stage left, one Cyril Knowles into the fray. Never a man to stand idly by on the sidelines, and it was clearly going to be one of those nights. Well, just before half-time, Torquay were deservedly back in the match when CREWE keeper Paul Edwards fumbled that shot from Carl Airy. And then the tempers really began to boil over, with Cyril Knowles banned from the dugout in order to stand well away from the action. Doesn't look too pleased about it, does he? But ironically, the excitement simply followed him around, because Torquay then grabbed the winner. Lovely cross into the centre, and a dream header from new boy Jason Gummer. Well, this time there was no stopping our Cyril as he joined in the jubilation. United, of course, home again tomorrow night to Wrexham. Watch this space for the further adventures of the volatile Mr. Knowles. And finally in sport, just a reminder of Van Trophy. Everything seemed to be going to plan until United came up against Steve Bull. Swinging corner then from Mark Moran.
Torquay take the lead. it's really ripped apart there as Loram knocked the ball into the centre. So that's a very good start for Torquay. Dean Edwards the scorer. Score here in this first half, Torquay United 1, Wolves 0. Steve Ball, and that's a lovely ball. And beautifully saved by Kenny Vasey. Man in the overlap. Robbie Dennison, this is very dangerous. And what a take from Vasey. He had much and ball behind him, but Vasey making no mistake at all with that save. Meanwhile, Mark Loram being stretchered off. Let's hope that's not too serious. Ball. Oh, beautifully taken. Steve Ball. The only real chance he's had in this second half, and that is real class. You can see why he's racing to 50 goals this season. A half chance, and Steve Ball thumps it past Kenny Vasey. And Ball through again. Oh, what a brilliant goal! Steve Ball takes the salute of the Wolves fans as Torquay are ripped apart in these closing seconds. Well, he absolutely thumped that past Kenny Vasey. Nothing he could do about that. What a remarkable goal scorer.
He's got 40-odd goals, Pete, and at any level, that is tremendous, really. Now, whether he'd do it at high class with better defenders, I wouldn't like to stick my neck out.
Would you like him here?
No doubt.
That's 45 now and still going, I hope.
What's the target for this year?
I've got no target for this year. As I say, there's about another 7 to go now before I beat my record, but records never come into my head. I just, as I say, I want to get the club back where it belongs and say Wembley again.
He really is something special.
New last night means that they'll play Bolton at Wembley on May the 28th in the final of this year's Sherpa Van Trophy. Well, to tell us more about it, our sports editor Pete Barraclough. Pete, you putting your foot in it, basically, putting you on the spot. You said last night...
On the phone
from MOLINEAUX, they had no
would win.
chance. Yes, Torquay had no chance.
Well, I was very, very wrong, for which I apologise. I don't think I was alone there. This is last night's evening paper in Wolverhampton, Express and Star, and they'd obviously assumed that it was Wembley next stop as well. It was very much against the odds. In fact, I wasn't alone. The Torquay manager, Cyril Knowles, admitted as well he'd written off his side's chance after that 2-1 defeat at PLAINMOR. But Torquay, well, they were just absolutely magnificent last night. A 1-minute silence, of course, for the dead at Hillsborough, all players wearing black armbands as a mark of respect. Well, Cyril Knowles didn't want to play the match, and Torquay came under the hammer from a Wolves side who expected to win. But the crowd was silenced after 8 minutes. Loram putting through Dean Edwards. He took that away beautifully. Great goal from Dean Edwards. Well, Wolves came storming back with those terrible twosomes, Steve Bull and Andy Much, always a constant threat. A difficult moment here for United's veteran keeper Kenny Allen. But just before half-time, Torquay were 2 up. Here it is, perfect curling free kick from Mark Loram, and the Wolves keeper Roger Hansbury absolutely stranded. So into the second half, and this looked a certain goal. Steve Bull, 46 goals this season, absolutely through here. This is the sort of chance he usually buries. Blasts it wide. That really was a turning point. He was never going to score. And Torquay could have made it 3-0 when Mark Loram tried this speculative back header, and it hit the post and bounced away. And then at the other end, the save that ensured Torquay's place at Wembley. Kenny Allen pushing over that effort from Downey. Good save. That was it. United through 3-2 on aggregate. And, of course, celebration from the 400 Torquay fans who made the trip there. Absolutely delighted. With me now is the Torquay keeper, Kenny Allen, who made that marvellous save. And for you, a terrific comeback, because a broken leg last year, and here you are, appearance at Wembley, Ken.
Yeah, it's the land of make-believe, Pete, isn't it? It's stories that boys' books are made of.
Did anybody expect to win, seriously, on the team coach? I cannot believe they did.
I think, hand on heart, you know, the hype that the players get, and, you know, yes, we're going to do it now. But really, hand on heart, I don't think anybody could have seriously believed we would do it.
We've got
division action against Exeter City. Our commentator there is Peter Brackley.
It's a match, of course, that both sides are so anxious to win to keep themselves in contention for a playoff place. This is McDermott to Drayden. And looking for Young in the air, and he's got up well and above the goalkeeper, and he's scored. Just 7 minutes gone, and Richard Young has given Exeter the lead, towering above young Mark Coombe, making his debut in the Torquay goal. So a great start then for Exeter. Kelly with the free kick. Elliott up well, good save by Miller, and again. So what contrasting fortunes for the two goalkeepers in the early minutes. Two fine saves by Miller. And Torquay needing some of the inspiration that they'd found at Molyneux in the week in the Sherpa Van Trophy. And here's the man that provided it for them then, Loram, but only just wide. The man who scored the winner, of course, at Molyneux. Cross was in from Kelly, and again, safe handling by Kevin Miller. Well, Torquay looking to find an equaliser at the start of the second half. This is Paul Hirons. Good play by him. Lovely change of direction too. Edwards. Off the bar. It was Drayden who cleared off the line onto his own crossbar and somehow away to safety. But a real let-off then for Exeter. The shot from Edwards and off the bar via Drayden. Young challenging and prepared to battle. And his strength takes him past two tackles. And a lovely ball now. Here's McDermott. Young's continued his run into the middle. And here he is now, and it's two. And Richard Young has struck again. Glorious piece of finishing by Young, who started the move himself. The ball played wide to McDermott, and Young timing his run perfectly. And it's 2-0. Well, again, the clearance was none too effective. And here's Young. Is this his hat-trick? Oh, it bobbled unkindly for him. But he'll be so disappointed. It was certainly there. The chance was on. And Richard Young might have had a hat-trick. Well, it looks as if Torquay are suffering something of a hangover from their Sherpa Van success. And here's Young from McDermott's cross. And he's proving a real handful this afternoon, is Richard Young. And they're finding it very hard to contain him. Loram with the free kick. Torquay look to find a way back into this game somehow. All rather untidy here. But here's Morrison with the shot. Fine goalkeeping again by Kevin Miller. The painter and decorator from Newquay brought into the side in place of the suspended Dave Walter. Young missing out. Morrison. To Paul Smith, some ironic jeers from the crowd who feel he hasn't had the right service since coming on as a substitute. He might find it here. Here's Smith, just wide. And very close indeed then to pulling a goal back. Exeter with just 3 away wins so far in the league. But they're very well placed indeed to enter that tally here. Loram with the header back. Oh, Rowbottom's in. It's 3. A really sharp piece of finishing then by Darren Rowbottom. And again, Torquay caught out at the back. A misunderstanding, Coombe and Loram, who played the ball back. And Rowbottom was in for his 23rd goal of the season. Weston losing out to Benjamin, and here's Hiley. Matthew Elliott steering it back. McDermott nipping in. And once again they've got caught. It's 4-0. Quite astonishing. And the young goalkeeper, Mark Coombe, is having a most unhappy afternoon. Exposed then, though, by the back pass from Matthew Elliott. McDermott so quick to spot the possibilities. And Exeter now have a 4-0 lead.
So what a win for Exeter City, but...
Win over York City. This, the first of 2 Torquay goals. A floated free kick from Mark Loram, and it's Carl Airy heading home in the 39th minute. In fact, it was pretty much one-way traffic for most of the game, with Jimmy Smith unlucky not to score here early in the second half. But 3 minutes later, United added a second after this protracted goalmouth scramble in which the referee played his part. In the end, it's Matthew Elliott ramming it home to the delight of the PLAINMOR faithful. It could have been more in the closing stages, but Cyril Knowles will be pleased to end a bad run.
Frustrating afternoon for the United supporters.
Things started optimistically enough with United's young keeper Kenny Vasey deservedly picking up the Player of the Year award, a very popular choice. Indeed, it looked as if Torquay's recent run of bad luck had ended when they began to dominate a Colchester side who pulled off a remarkable escape act at the foot of the table. Jock Wallace and Alan Ball have done wonders at Layer Road, but it was Torquay who provided all the action in the first half. They deservedly took the lead just after the break when the former Arsenal striker Ian Allinson displayed all his scoring skills at the wrong end of the pitch, slamming this cross past his own keeper. But 6 minutes later, Colchester were back on terms with this deceptive shot by John Warner, with the United defence dozing. Well, Torquay rallied a little, but then conceded 2 late goals. Steve Hetzker heading home here to make it 2-1. Then, literally seconds before the whistle, Dale Tempest made it 3-1. We can only hope it's all part of a devious plan by Cyril Knowles to put Bolton at their ease. We shall see.
In fact, Cyril Knowles will be getting just that wee bit excited as the big day draws nearer. And for the United players, of course, the butterflies will soon be starting to flutter. But the match will also bring the memories flooding back for Torquay manager Cyril Knowles, no stranger to the strains and stresses of a Wembley final.
Wembley. Great Wembley. Not long ago, the focal point for world soccer. Now the setting for the greatest prize of English football, the FA Cup. This year, a Cockney Cup final. Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspur. 2 brilliant London teams.
Game, it was very, very hot that day, you know. We played very well, actually, I thought, that day. And we were lucky we got 2 goals in front and they got 1 back late on, but... you know, it could have gone either way last 10 minutes. See, this is the thing I've been trying to get through to the lads. It's very sapping. You know, the ground is very, very sapping. Even watching the Liverpool-Everton game on Saturday, you know, you noticed at the end how tired people were, and they're good players, Pete, so...
It's self-deprecating talk like that, of course, that fooled Wolves. The 3rd Division leaders were simply outmanoeuvred in the Sherpa semi-final second leg at MOLINEAUX, with goals by Dean Edwards and then this superbly flighted free kick from Mark Loram, earning the goals their place at Wembley. In fact, all in all, it's been a pretty impressive route to the final for United, who've confounded the pundits time and time again by beating better-class opposition. The victories over Cardiff and Gillingham were emphatic enough, but it was those wins at Brentford and, of course, at MOLINEAUX which raised a few eyebrows. Sunday's big match at Wembley will be a real test for United's young players, but there are a few old heads around to guide them through.
the younger lads, they played in the, let's say, MOLINEAUX this year. That was as big as most of them have played, as big as I've played in. So they know what they can do. They know they can do it on the day. I've been to Wembley a couple of times to watch cup finals, but I mean, obviously playing is a different experience. But just tell them to try and play the normal game. I know it's not a normal game, but you've just got to try.